Later on this week, Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy Origins is going to be making its way to the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. This is a game that I am very much looking forward to because I am a massive hardcore fan of Final Fantasy. This looks like it's going to be much different than we normally get from Final Fantasy, but with the Final Fantasy name attached to it, I'm definitely going to pick it up. Plus, I want to know how this actually fits in to the origins of the original Final Fantasy game from the NES and Famicom. Hey everybody, I am Robert Storms. Welcome back to the channel. As always, if you're finding me for the very first time, please do me a massive favor, smash that like and subscribe button. That way you guys can stay up to date to all future content here on the channel. So with Final Fantasy Origin getting ready to be released later on this week, the reviews for it is now out and they're not great. There's 36 reviews, and right now it's sitting at a 73% Metacritic score. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. Now, usually these JRPGs don't do all that well, but a 73 is really kind of disarming. It's not the greatest, but it could be a lot worse. And if you actually scroll down to the reviews, it actually doesn't look as bad, because some people are actually giving it really, really good, scores. Like we got an 84 here, we got an 87, then we started getting into the 70s. Then this is stuff that starts really making me feel a little uncomfortable, is when we start looking into those type of scores, because that is what worries me. Is when we start getting into the 20s and so on and so forth, it tells me that people aren't really looking forward to this game. And like I said, this is the game that I've very much been anticipating. This is much different than what we normally get from a Final Fantasy game, but I like the trailers that I've seen of it so far. The original initial teaser looked weird, but once we started seeing these other trailers, it started looking more like what I would expect from a Final Fantasy game, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's supposed to lead up to the original Final Fantasy game. I want to see where this character Jack fits in, and all this stuff, and how Garland fits in, and Jack Garland, and there's this whole thing. I want to know. I want to know how this fits into everything. And looking at this 73 on Metacritic, yeah, that's very, very concerning out of 36 critic reviews. But 87% here, that's not super bad. 84%, that's not super bad. But when we start getting into the lower ones, Stranger Paradise is mostly just a mess. That's something that is very, very concerns me. Because I am a big Final Fantasy fan, and it looks like we're some time away before we get Final Fantasy 16, and I really want to play something that I can just dive into, get very deep character lore, and really just enjoy myself. But on the bright side, something that I noticed here, that it only has one negative review, which I guess that's kind of positive. We got 19 positive reviews, 16 mixed reviews, which means they're like, hey, this could go either way. And one only negative review, and that's that 20 down at the bottom. So I guess on the bright side, it could be a lot worse when you look at it from hindsight. So overall, I'm still excited. None of these critics or Metacritic reviews have tainted my overall thoughts of the game. This is still a game I'm gonna pick up, still a game that I'm going to experience for myself, because like I said, being a Final Fantasy fan, you are looking forward to what the next chapter is, whether it's a spin-off or part of the main series. It's something that we look forward to as a fan. So this is a game I'm still gonna be picking up on launch day. Still haven't decided PS5, Xbox Series X yet. I'm leaning toward the Xbox Series X, but I haven't really decided yet. But I want to what you guys think. Have you thought about picking up Strangers of Paradise? Is it a game that you're looking forward to? How do you feel about the mixed reviews? Leave those comments in the comment box below, guys. Until next time, as always, I am Robert Storms. As always, that's my opinion.